The day I discovered my husband's affair, I didn't cry. I opened a secret bank account and started planning my empire. My name is Rebecca Hart, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia, 32 years old, part-time bookkeeper for my husband's real estate company. For 7 years, I was married to Michael. We met at a business mixer in Buckhead. He was smooth-talking, charismatic, the kind of man who could sell ice to someone in Alaska. We built his business together. I handled the books, the taxes, the paperwork, while he closed deals and collected commissions. We lived in a nice house in Brookhaven, drove expensive cars. From the outside, we looked perfect. But that Thursday afternoon in July, everything shattered. I was organizing files in his home office when I found them. Photos on his laptop, him and his assistant, Kelsey, at hotels, on trips I thought were business, in our bed, in our home. My hands shook, my stomach turned. But what broke me wasn't just the betrayal. It was the messages. Him talking about me like I was a burden. Rebecca's gotten so boring. All she does is work and complain. Kelsey makes me feel young again. I sat there frozen, reading months of lies. And then something clicked. I wasn't going to confront him. I wasn't going to scream or beg or ask why. I was going to do something far more devastating. I was going to secretly build a life so successful that when I left, he'd crumble. I closed the laptop, saved copies of everything to a flash drive, emails, photos, financial records. Then I went downstairs and made dinner like nothing happened. Michael came home, kissed my forehead, and asked what was for dinner. I smiled, told him chicken parmesan, and started planning his downfall. That night, after he fell asleep, I opened a bank account he didn't know about, started transferring small amounts from our joint account. $50 here, $100 there. Nothing he'd notice, but over weeks, it would add up. Then I started digging into the business finances. I'd been doing his books for 7 years. I knew every account, every client, every deal, and I found something interesting. Michael had been cooking the books, skimming money, not reporting full commissions, tax fraud, nothing massive, but enough to get him in serious trouble if someone reported it. But I didn't report it. Not yet, because I had a bigger plan. I reached out to 3 of Michael's biggest clients, the ones I'd built relationships with over the years, invited them to coffee, professional, friendly, told them I was starting my own real estate consulting firm, specializing in investment properties and tax strategy. All 3 were interested, said they'd been unhappy with Michael's communication lately. Within 2 weeks, I had my first 3 clients, Michael's clients. I registered my LLC, got my real estate license, started studying every night after Michael went to bed, took online courses, networked on LinkedIn, built a website, all in secret. While he was out with Kelsey, I was building something he'd never see coming. 3 months in, I'd signed 6 clients, all former clients of Michael's who'd followed me because I actually answered their calls and did the work. My income was already matching what I made working for him, but I kept working for his company, kept pretending, kept smiling, because I needed more time, more evidence, more leverage. I also started taking care of myself, joined a gym in Midtown, started working out at 6 a.m. before Michael woke up, lost 18 pounds in 3 months. Not for him, for me, for the version of myself I was becoming. I got my hair done, started dressing better, not drastically, just enough that people noticed. Clients complimented me, asked if I'd done something different. Michael didn't notice at all, too busy texting Kelsey. 6 months after finding those photos, I had 12 clients, was making more money than Michael, had saved $30,000 in my secret account, and had documented every single instance of his financial fraud. Then I made my move. I scheduled a meeting with his 3 biggest remaining clients, the ones who brought in 60% of his revenue, pitched them on moving to my firm, offered better rates, better service, personal attention. All 3 signed with me that week. Michael's business lost more than half its income in 5 days, and he had no idea why. Then I filed for divorce, had the papers delivered to his office, in front of Kelsey, in front of his remaining staff. He came home that night, furious. "What the hell is this, Rebecca? You can't just leave. We built this together." I looked at him, calm, cold. "No, Michael, I built this. You took the credit, but now I'm taking my share, and you're going to give it to me." He laughed, actually laughed. "You think you can survive without me? You have no clients, no business. You're nothing without me." I smiled, pulled out my phone, showed him my client list. His face went white. "Those are my clients." I shook my head. "Were. They're mine now. Turns out people prefer working with someone who actually does their job instead of sleeping with their assistant." He tried to argue, tried to threaten, but I had leverage. I told him about the financial fraud I'd discovered, the unreported income, the tax evasion. Told him I had 7 years of documentation, and if he didn't give me everything I was asking for in the divorce, I'd hand it all to the IRS. He went pale, started stammering. "You wouldn't." I leaned in close. "Try me." We settled out of court. I got the house, half his retirement, 3 years of alimony, and full ownership of my business with a non-compete clause preventing him from contacting any of my clients for 5 years. He walked away with his car and whatever was left of his decimated business. But I wasn't done. I reported his tax fraud anyway, anonymously, sent everything to the IRS. They audited him, found years of unreported income. He got hit with massive penalties. His business collapsed completely. Last I heard, he's working as a car salesman in Marietta, living in a studio apartment. Kelsey left him when the money dried up. Meanwhile, my business exploded. Within a year, I had 30 clients, hired 2 assistants, opened an office in Buckhead, started getting featured in Atlanta business magazines. My revenue hit 7 figures. I bought a penthouse in Midtown with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Started dating a kind, successful architect who treats me like I'm the most important person in the world. 1 year after the divorce, I was at a real estate conference downtown, giving a keynote speech on ethical business practices. The room was packed, and there he was, Michael, in the back row, wearing a cheap suit, looking older, broken. He saw me on that stage, confident, successful, respected, everything he'd told me I'd never be without him, and his face said it all, regret, shame, defeat. After the speech, people swarmed me, business cards, collaboration requests, media interviews. Michael tried approaching. I saw him in my peripheral vision, but I didn't acknowledge him, just walked right past. Because he didn't deserve my time, my energy, my acknowledgement. He was irrelevant. His cheating could have destroyed me. Instead, it freed me. It forced me to stop building his dream and start building mine. And when I left, I didn't just walk away. I took everything that mattered, his clients, his reputation, his ego, and I used it all to build something he could never touch. He thought I was nothing without him. I proved I was everything, and watching his world crumble while mine flourished, that wasn't revenge. That was just consequence. The natural result of underestimating someone who knows exactly what they're worth. If this story resonated with you, smash that like button. Drop a comment telling me if you think I went too far or not far enough. And if you're new to Venomous Revenge, hit subscribe, because sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even, it's getting everything, and I've got more stories to prove it.